Good evening. Welcome to the Gothic Bohemian Salon. I kind of didn't feel that great tonight, and I thought I'd do a tag, but you know what? I don't really think that a tag is appropriate, so there's something else that I wanted to talk about, something else that I was thinking of as a subject, and it's a pretty good one, I think. It's pretty important, and it has to do with people telling you who you should be. And this is something that as children we have to deal with because people are trying to mold and shape us and make us, suitable adults. But once you've crossed that line, once you've become an adult, then it's kind of all up to you. Though sometimes even when you're an adult, people try to tell you what to do. So I just wanted to talk about things like when people say stuff like, you'd look so much better without all that makeup, or I really liked your natural color better, or your friend doesn't do all that stuff, why aren't you more like her? Stuff like that. Even comments like, you'd look so much better if you lost a little weight. Well-meaning people saying things that are absolutely infuriating. Now, a couple of people have done videos on this already, and I don't blame them because it's a good subject, it really is. And their videos are great, and I'm not trying to step on their bandwagon or anything like that, but I wanted to kind of talk about this in another context, and that is sort of when your family does this sort of thing. And I was talking about dealing with your family in another video. I talked about dealing with your parents, and if your parents are actually harming you in some way, that sometimes it's necessary to kind of create a new family, to kind of divorce yourself from your parents. It's not right for people to tell you how to be. So the next time somebody says something like, you look so much better without makeup, tell them it's none of their business. It's going to come off really bitchy, and they're going to be really affronted, but they should shut up. It's none of their business. I suppose you could try to say it in a diplomatic way. So how can we do that? I appreciate your thoughts on the matter. However, I believe it's my choice what I do with myself, so I'll stick with what I've decided works for me, if that's okay with you. I don't know. Does that work for you? Why do people feel the need to tell other people how to be? Mostly because they're not secure in themselves, or they're afraid that you're going to make them look bad somehow. Particularly if it's in a family thing, they think, this family member makes us look bad because it makes us look like we haven't done our job or something like that, Well, that's nonsense. Anybody who thinks that is, also kind of entering territory that's none of their business anyway, so no. No. Back to your parents. Your parents are there to support you, to love you, to be there for you, no matter what, too. They shouldn't be the kind of people who decide suddenly, because you've done something, or who decide suddenly that you're just too much bother and they're not going to have anything to do with you anymore. Your parents should be there no matter what. Um, Now, if they're trying to practice tough love or something, uh, that's fine, I suppose, if that's what's necessary, if you need that, you know. But if your parents are doing that, kind of try to suss out if it's really the case that you do need that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, you know. They could tough love you right into the grave, if they're not careful, depending on what's going on. It's important for your parents to be there for you. And if they can't be, find some people who can, I don't think that's too much to ask of life, is to have people who are there for you. I don't. Now, my own story, such as it is rather grim. I had to leave home. I had no choice. I couldn't stay. It caused some problems for me, a lot of problems actually, but I couldn't stay. And I couldn't keep my parents in my life either, because they were so intent on controlling every aspect of my life, and their attempts were so negative, I just couldn't be around them. And it wasn't just that, there were more things going on than that, and I wasn't being protected, and I wasn't safe, and I couldn't be in a situation like that anymore. I was on the verge of, just killing myself or something, so I really had to go. And sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes you have to go, But make sure that it's not that you understand things properly, Make sure that, if your parents are just cruel people, because cruel people have kids too, you may need to get out of there. Of course, teenagers always think their parents are terrible, and, well, supposedly, and you have conflicts with them, so you might want to wait until you're not a teenager. But try to rationally sit down and think it through, and if your parents are denigrating you, if they're abusing you in some way, if they're calling you names, that kind of stuff, you can say to them, you can either call me names or you can be in my life. So make a choice. So that's my advice for that, on that subject. I'm not sure I'm going to post this. It's not exactly very upbeat. I'm not feeling very upbeat at the moment. I'm kind of not feeling well, so what can I say? I'm trying to get over a cold, and I was just going to do a tag, and it just seemed kind of stupid all of a sudden, so I decided not to do it. It's late. Time to go. Thank you for joining me in the Gothic Bohemian Salon. Good night.